Do you think banjos and moonshine when you hear the word Appalachia?
Well, think again. You couldn't be more wrong.
This morning, we're here at Roanoke Mountain Campground, which is off of the Blue Ridge Parkway. And this misty morning is kind of eerie walking around, but it's also beautiful.
Yeah, it's definitely peaceful, quiet. I did see somebody walking a dog over here. We're like, ooh, what's that sound?
Yeah.
I didn't, Kris did, because I'm strong and I'm not scared.
Yeah, sure. But this is a perfect backdrop, y'all, to talk about Appalachia. We're gonna dig into the culture, the people, and myths that are going to be busted because there's a lot of stereotypes out there that are just inaccurate. So hang in as we dive in and talk all about this beautiful place we call home.
Hey, real quick, it's Hal and Kris. If you're interested in buying or selling in Roanoke, reach out to us with the contact information on the screen.
And be sure to take the neighborhood quiz, which is in the description below, to find out what part of Roanoke is going to be best for you.
So many people only know the Hollywood stereotypes about Appalachia, and some of the most common myths, we're going to talk about those and the truth behind them.
First, we've got to all get on the same page with how to pronounce the name correctly. And since Kris is from here, she's gonna start us off.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, my family's always pronounced it, and their families that lived in the hollers of Appalachia, we've always pronounced it a certain way. It's Appalachia, like throw an apple at ya, or the Appalachian pronunciation, Appalachian. Throw an apple at your chin. Now you're gonna hear people with a little different twang, like Appalachia, and that Lacha pronunciation that I said is more of a regional dialect that's come to central and southern Appalachia. But if you hear Appalachia, that means that they're probably getting that from the northern part of the state or somewhere to the west.
Now that we've got all of that cleared up, let's bust some Appalachian myths.
Good job.
Oh boy, that was tough. I was like tongue twister.
Yeah, you're not from around here, so
No.
I'll give you some grace.
South Georgia, baby.
All right, myth number one, Appalachian people are uneducated. And the truth is, while poverty and lack of access to higher educations was a challenge in Appalachia, literacy rates are actually higher than the national average in many areas today.
Yeah, Appalachian culture reflects ingenuity, not a lack of education.
That's so true.
That makes me think of how your dad a lot of times will fix things not necessarily the same way that I would, but he uses some good old ingenuity and thoughtfulness to come up with a solution that may not be custom.
Yeah, and talking about kind of my dad, you have to realize too that Appalachian people also have a long history that values storytelling, oral traditions, even folk wisdom that kind of counts as education too.
Well, and last week, prime example of this, you went to breakfast with your parents, with the kids, and then Uncle Joe was sitting there telling them all sorts of stories and great stuff, right? And we go to the country to see folks over in Victoria and Cambridge. We sit around and we have stories told.
Oh, it's amazing. You could spend hours listening to them weave a tale, and it's powerful. And that is part of the culture, a big part of the culture and the fabric of the Appalachian people.
So many communities actually have fought really hard to bring colleges, libraries, and art programs into the mountains. And there are some exceptional colleges and universities in the South. And we're talking about one in North Carolina, surprisingly, but Appalachian State University is in Boone, North Carolina. And U.S. News and World Reports has it ranked as number 3 in 2025 of the best colleges, and number 2 in top public schools. I was shocked whenever I saw that. I was like, what? Wow, that's awesome.
It's a beautiful school. Myth number 2, everyone in Appalachia is poor. Well, the truth is, while some coal mining regions have struggled economically, Appalachia is really diverse, and it includes cities like Asheville, Knoxville, and Roanoke, as well as middle class and some affluent communities.
The stereotype of the poverty overall is really untrue and ignores the region's economic variety.
I agree 100%. So myth number 3, Appalachian people are backward and resistant to change. This is not true, y'all. Appalachians have been innovators from the beginning of time, like farm equipment they had to create to adapt to this steep mountain terrain.
We're walking up right now and out of breath.
Music genres, they are ingenious, really.
Yeah, many communities now lead out with outdoor recreation, arts, and small business growth, which we see quite a bit of that around here in the Roanoke Valley, of course.
I dare say that we are actually pioneers in growth, even though a lot of times it takes us a long time to make a decision. Don't think that that's because we're resistant to change. Usually, Appalachian people take a long time to think about things from every single angle.
So we're processing.
Yeah.
Processing.
I like that. Okay, we're gonna keep going here. Myth number 4, Appalachian culture is all the same. That could not be further from the truth. The region really covers 13 states, including Native American, Scots-Irish, German, African American influences. So the culture is a real mixing blend.
For example, you got bluegrass and gospel sitting alongside African American blues traditions that have shaped the region's music.
Yeah, I mean, and culture differences can be like moonshine to sun tea and like a host of other things. I mean, you don't even want to get started on the arts. You can really see that play out in that too.
Yeah, I think about the folk mugs. I don't know if that's just an Appalachia thing, but it's like the ugly mugs they call them, but they're like folk art. Saw a lot of those at Old Salem Days this past weekend.
That's true.
Yeah,
that was really pretty. Buckle up for myth number 5. Appalachian people are unfriendly or closed off. While the truth is actually the stereotype of like hill people misses that really deep tradition of hospitality we have.
Visitors are often amazed at the warmth of the Appalachian communities. Where neighbors help neighbors and strangers are welcomed on the streets, at festivals, and at churches. And we hear this consistently from folks who visit, right? It's like they are actually overwhelmed at how nice folks are here. Although I will say, some people you talk to locally that have lived here for a long time, they don't see it for some reason. I don't understand why, but I mean, I don't really see us having an issue because we are super nice, kind, and just accepting.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I agree. Yeah, and also, I wanted to say that if you really think about it, neighbors are helping neighbors with farming and concerns and when they're sick or shut in. And also churches, faith and spirituality play a really strong role and big role here in the South, both in the past as well as now. So that's kind of your cultural center too. So that's been really interesting to see. All right, myth number 6. Appalachians all live in isolated hollers.
Well, I will say we do have some of those around here now, and sometimes when I get out there, I'm like, oh my goodness, how am I going to get back? But not everybody lives there.
Yeah, I mean, there are some remote mountain communities, but millions of Appalachians live in small cities and towns and mid-sized like Roanoke, Asheville, Knoxville. I keep bringing those up. But this region truly is a mix of rural and urban, not just backwoods.
Yeah, and that's what I really love about the Roanoke Valley in particular. You can access urban living and rural living within about 20 to 25 minutes, right? So you can enjoy privacy and an escape if you want, but not feel like you're in the boondocks, right?
Yeah.
So, and for us, it's like, we prefer to live in the city, but we love having all of the great Appalachian mountains around us so that we can partake in God's great beauty here.
All right, myth number 7, Appalachian culture is stuck in the past. The truth is, when you visit today, you can still find bluegrass festivals, storytelling events, quilting circles, local markets celebrating this heritage. You had just talked about Old Salem Days. That was great. But many younger generations are working to kind of have that balance, keep traditions alive while modernizing things like craft breweries, farm-to-table restaurants. We're seeing those come up, tech hubs, and vibrant art scenes. So it's a really beautiful blend, keeping our heritage, but moving forward as well.
Yeah, so in places like the Roanoke Valley, you can see this balance and you get a strong appreciation for what Kris just said.
Myth number 8, everyone in Appalachia is white, as in Caucasian. But the truth is, Appalachia is more diverse than people assume. We've got African American cultures and communities, Native Americans, especially down by Cherokee, North Carolina.
Yeah, we went to one of their shows called Under These Hills where they talk about the history of the Indians there in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And you've also got other immigrant groups like the Italians, Eastern European, Latino, lots of others that have all contributed to the culture in Appalachia.
Yeah.
And this is especially true in the coal towns and urban centers, and the diversity brings along its own culture, which makes it super special.
All right, myth number 9, Appalachian people are lazy. What? Like, where did this even come from? The truth is, mountain life has always required hard work. I mean, just think about farming.
I'm just thinking too. I was just thinking about that.
Now farming on steep slopes with rocks and, well, you get it. There's coal mining here, there's logging, and working in factories and railroads. This is not easy work. This culture has always been rooted in self-reliance and perseverance. I'm big on this one.
And we always love hearing Chris's uncle talk about his childhood growing up in a coal mining town and how incredibly hard that was, you know. Nothing like what we experience today by any means.
And so poor in how they made do. Because of his determined spirit is what I love, and his hard work ethic, he retired from Norfolk Southern as like this top executive, but never ever forgot where he came from.
So there you have it, 9 myths about Appalachian people that we busted.
Yeah, and hopefully this gives you a deeper appreciation for our little slice of heaven here in the Roanoke Valley, and we'll see you on the next video.
Y'all come back now, you hear?